It's the same one they teach you in business school, and it's the same thing hackers do when they're breaking into your computer. So what did I do? This is me in Ecuador. I saw a shaman did ayahuasca in the jungle. Yeah, that's not exactly a Western thing, but it works pretty well to help get some more awareness of what's going on in my body. This is a picture of me when I was still somewhat heavy with Barbara van Dyson. She's the head of the American Pre- and Perinatal Psychology Association. She spent her entire life teaching people how their emotions work. I did basically 20 years of therapy in a week. It was a really hard, painful week, but I learned more about why I am the way I am than I ever would have known before, which gave me the power to change. You want to effectively be able to date people, understand what's going on in your emotions all the time at any time, and then get conscious control of that. When you can do that and you can turn down your stress response like that, because it's a learned skill, you can walk into any situation. It doesn't matter. I can walk on stage in front of thousands of people, and I do it regularly in my job. I don't have stage fright. Not a bit of it. My heart isn't even racing. I'm not sweating. I'm not feeling any of those things. I'm just feeling turned on and engaged, and you can learn to be in that state. This is me in Nepal, actually. So I thought, who knows more about hacking the brain than people who've spent 10,000 years doing it and writing it all down? These guys. That's Mount Kailash. I climbed around the headwaters of the Ganges in remote western Tibet, spent some time learning. Became really good at yoga, although I don't practice it every day. It's not necessary. In fact, I haven't practiced it much since I had kids. Normally, I'd be able to right now put my ankle behind my head, but I did that cool machine we had last night, and I can barely stand. My legs are so tired from it. So. This is a cave outside Sedona in the middle of nowhere. I spent 4 days fasting under the guidance of a shaman, all by myself, didn't eat anything, had nothing but water, just to see what's it like to be alone, really alone, with no one for 25 miles in any direction, only a pocket knife, a sharp stick, and a sleeping bag. It was a really good experience, and this is the kind of thing that you do. If you want to understand who you are, you push yourself to the edges. You understand, okay, what happens if I'm outside my norm? There's no slide for it, but I did an urban escape and evasion course in LA. The final exam, after 2 days of training, they handcuffed me, hooded me in the back of a van with other people, and I had to pick the lock, escape, and spend all day with 12 bounty hunters chasing me. You know what? I learned more about how I behave under pressure doing that than I ever have in the rest of my career. I'm not kidding. This is me with a 64-channel EEG. You want to know what's going on in your head? Look. This is a $15,000, 7-day, super intensive course of EEG training I did. This is another slide from that, where you learn to consciously control your brains. This course teaches you to have the same brain state as someone who spent 40 years of daily Zen meditation practice, an advanced Zen master. 7 days. Side effects, 12 IQ points, 50% increase in creativity, and the ability to turn off the voice in your head that says, she doesn't like me. I learned from a lot of experts. I'm the chairman of this anti-aging nonprofit group that's been around for a long time. We've had an incredible roster of speakers over the years, like Steve Folks. He wrote the book on smart drugs and nutrients called Smart Drugs and Nutrients 2. He's a personal friend and a guide, a source of guidance for me. Aubrey de Grey, biogerontologist from Cambridge University. I can email him anytime, and he's a great guy. Bruce Lipton, one of the leaders in epigenetics and understanding how the environment and how your thoughts affect your genes. Gary Taubes, good calories, bad calories, and all sorts of other weird stuff like neurofeedback, ozone. All this stuff I've boiled into the recommendations I'm making here, because I'm going to give you guys 6 top biohacks from $250,000 in 10 years of, actually 15 years of work that I've done. And then I've got a special one that I added on that has never been presented before. Wow, this is kind of a tough image. It's a little bit washed out, but there's something you need to know about you. You control which of your DNA actually gets used. Your DNA, which is the picture here, stores your genes. It's like a hard drive. Over here, your RNA, and I'm simplifying things quite a bit here, it copies your DNA. Around your DNA, you have something, again, simplifying some steps, we call a regulatory protein sleeve. This acts like a firewall, and these gaps in it are controlled by a few things. They're controlled by your exposome. We all know we have a genome, 23andMe, you can measure your genes. The exposome is the source, is the list of all the things around us that we're exposed to. The light we're exposed to, what we eat, the toxins we're exposed to, all the stressors in our life. In fact, your environment, your food, your exercise, your toxins. And this one sucks, but it's your emotions. What you think about and what you feel change which genes get expressed. What's going on in here and in here and in here actually changes your genes. The cool thing is, hacking your genes is really difficult because you need to write a retrovirus to rewrite your genes. Good luck with that. But you can actually hack your exposome pretty easily. You can change the room temperature. You can eat a healthier diet. You can calm your emotions. You can control your biological processes with your exposome. And if you tie immediate feedback in, you get, wow, I did this, and look, I feel better today. I can feel it. My brain works better. I can measure that using a 5-minute online tool from Quantified Mind. You can see it throughout what you do. Even the strength of your grip changes based on your environment around you. And it passes down to your kids. My book that comes out is what do you do before and during pregnancy in order to have healthier kids? Not just healthier, but smarter, and ones who have better genes that pass on to their kids. And I have a bit of dating advice for you. Women can smell men who are fertile and healthy. It's in your BO. You eat the right diet, you walk into a room, you have pheromones like other men don't. And I will tell you, I'm happily married and all. At a recent conference, a woman sat down next to me at dinner. This was a paleo conference. And she looked at me and she said, "What is it about you?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she basically said, "I don't know how to really say this to you, but basically I want to F you more than anyone I've ever wanted to in my entire life." Okay? I wasn't picking up on her. Like, I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. But what was going on there was, that's a pheromonal thing, and it's common. Tim Ferriss writes about it in his books too. How when you eat the right diet, for him, he was, maybe he went off beans for a little while, which I would not put in the right diet. But he raised his eggs and red meat, and he says you walk the room, people turn and look. So what you do, your emotions, they pick up on that. They pick up on your body language and what you say and what you do. They also pick up on how you smell, and that comes because women are optimized for knowing when is a good time to have kids, when is fertility going to happen, and who's a good mate. And you can make yourself a better mate by simply controlling the toxins you eat and by having a healthier diet. And you tell the woman, after you've been dating for a little while, "Hey, my swimmers don't make deformed children," which is true. If you control your toxins, you eat the right things, you become way attractive as a mate. A little early for most of you, it happens. Your brain rewrites itself. It's the next part of this. So you can rewrite your genetic code, your physical body. What about your brain? We've learned about neuroplasticity. You go back 25 years, people thought, oh, you have these brain cells, you only have them for life, they don't change. We've blown that out of the water. But neuroplasticity is important because it shows there are many things you can do that change the way your brain works.